Hello everyone, this is Black Stacker Depot. This is my very first YouTube video, and more importantly, this is my very first purchase into silver stacking. As you can see, it's not much of anything. Altogether, I think I have a grand total of 10 troy ounces. However, I'm making this video because I know there's people like me that sat on the fence for forever and are still sitting on the fence when it comes to getting into the precious metal market. Honestly, I think I sat on the fence not because I, didn't believe that, one day the dollar is going to collapse. It's more so of, so many things are promised and so few things actually come through. So when I make investments in the thing, I've invested in the market in different areas, and, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. When I started thinking about stacking, I was like, I need something that's going to be a little bit more sure, right? And when I look at silver or gold or any precious metal for that reason, they've been around for thousands of years, right? And unless someone discovers underground deposit of silver the size of Texas, silver is never going to have a value of zero, right? We use it for so much stuff, especially in the technology field. So I felt like it's a good investment. However, playing it in the stock markets, it's a bit more tricky, right? Although obviously the price of silver is kind of dictated by a few different things, and it's almost just like playing the market, but at least you have that precious material in hand opposed to somebody's physical, paper receipt that they're saying that you own this, right? How many times do companies go belly up for whatever reason? How many times do CEOs or whoever mishandle funds and you completely lose everything, not because of the value of what you've purchased has declined, it's that company that's declined. So for me, I guess a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? My next thing is, I think it's very important that at the very beginning of anything, but more specifically into getting into precious metals, you need to understand exactly what it is you want to do and what kind of stacking you want to do. And what is your end game? What is your goal, right, at the end of this? For me, I'll tell you, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this because I have a 17-month-old daughter. And a few weeks ago, I was really sitting back thinking, what is it that I'm going to be able to leave for my daughter when this is all said and done? What about her 18th birthday or her wedding day or, her first child, or in the event, that I'm passed away, right? What am I going to be able to leave? What is going to be the inheritance that she has? And I would say, damn, I need to start saving more. I need to start saving more money. But for me, that's easier said than done, right? And I think that's for most people. It's easy to say I'm going to put more money in the, into the 401k every year. I do that easy. It's easy for me to, set up, automatic allocations out of my account that I don't see. Easy, right? However, me just simply saying, okay, I'm going to put extra money away and leave it in my account over some period of time is just so hard because things come up, right, in life. And the first thing you do is start dipping into those funds, right? For me, I feel that with silver, although it's easily to sell and, recoup spot, I think that I will be a lot less likely to dip into the silver stash than I would just, using one of my credit cards or using, money I have put away, right? So that's why I got into it. The other piece of that is I have a good idea of what I want to do as a stacker. And different people have different opinions, and they say, oh, this is the best way and this is how you should do it. For me, I'm in it for the savings. I want to save money. I'm not in it to, hope and a prayer that one day, silver is going to hit $600. I'm not even looking at it like that. I'm looking at worse, I'm going to, lose a little bit of money, or potentially a lot of money, I guess. I won't say it. I will say I'll lose value on my ounces, right? At absolute worst. Best case scenario, silver hits $500-$600 or more, and I'm super happy at the end of the day. Likely scenario, silver increases decently, making a nice profit off of it, and that be that, right? So in either of those scenarios, besides losing, my goal is to put away as many ounces as possible, which means I'm not going for the high premium coins. I'm not going for the art pieces. I'm going for as close to spot as possible, or less, to accumulate the most amount of ounces. Period. And if I know that going into this, I'm not going to go and buy things that, have potential to be, big sales later on. But, with that same potential, you have a potential to lose all that extra value you put into it, right? Because think about it. You build a car, you put together a car, restore a car, and you think, I got this fully restored. Now it's worth X amount. And you put that out there for sale, and you get no response. And you sit on it, and you sit on it, and then you drop your price. And then you drop your price again. And then, hope and a prayer that someone buys it at the price that you now have it set out. But more often than not, you end up reducing that price again, right? And at the end of the day, you may make a profit. However, it's potentially nowhere near what you've actually thought you were going to make on it, right? And that's kind of how I look at it with silver. I'm thinking I'm going to make a profit, but maybe not what people, are projecting silver to do. That's how I look at it. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. However, I do know that the likelihood of me being able to sell these bars a week from now at nearly the same price that they are today is high. A year from now, there's a likelihood this bar is going to be worth more. A year after that, same thing, right? It's just, it's a guessing game, actually. It's not, you can look at all the facts and look at the trends, but at the end of the day, it's all a guessing game. So I want to buy as close to spot as possible and accumulate as many ounces as possible, which means I need to aim for generic bars, generic rounds, and low premiums, and potentially poured bars, depending on the deals that you can get. And that's what I want. I don't really want to go too much into like the 90% coins and things like that. It's just I don't have the time or the patience to cipher through bins to figure out what's there. I'm just not that into it. I have no interest in being a coin collector. And I think a lot of people, when they start this, it's so easy to get consumed. It's so easy to get, caught up in, man, I want the next latest and greatest piece. I want the newest, shiniest nickel out there. Because there's so much cool stuff out there, and it's actually fun. As I say, I bought this a couple weeks ago, and then I turned around and I bought another, I think, 50 ounces over the last couple of days. Why? Because, man, there's all this cool stuff out there. But I have to tell myself, what is my end game here? Right? It's to stack the most ounces. Right? So that's what I'm after, and I think that everyone should have that defined. I will, over time, diversify my stacking a little bit. However, what you won't see here is a bunch of, super rare coins or high premium coins. You won't see a bunch of art pieces, just simply because that's not my stack. That's not my goal. Not that that's the wrong answer. It's just not my answer. And as I said, I'm sure somebody's going to troll this, video because of it, but whatever, that's your opinion at the end of the day. So, what I have here is what I started with. And I was going to, wait and put the other 50 ounces in here and, wait till the end of the week and put the other 50 ounces in the video. But for the sake of being authentic, this is actually what I started with. Quickly, all of these are 1 ounce bars. I bought these all at, I think 90 cents over spot. There's nothing special about them. One's Scottsdale, one is, I don't know how to pronounce that. Heroes. There's 2 Engelhard bars and an American, I want to say this is called an American Argent Mint bar. This one is a Samuel Morse design bar. And it's from Hamilton Armory, or Hamilton Mint, excuse me. And of course you have the 3 coins from the Canadian Royal Mint. One's a Grizzly, the other's a Cougar, and the other's a Maple Leaf. And to be honest, I didn't even choose these low premium ones. Simply how they got in there is my wife. The thing is, she made a very valid point. She said, you're looking at this one way, and that's to stack the most ounces. So you want to get the thing closest to premium. And I said, yeah, right. And she said, well, if I was, let's just take my, I don't know which one would be considered the worst. I'll take this one. The Hamilton Mint bar, right? It's tarnished, it's scratched. I mean, it's just silver. Its value is pretty much its weight, right? But if I was to take a safe and fill it with these, right? Just solely these bars, and give it to someone who didn't know anything about silver, who didn't know anything about stacking, who had no idea what spot is 20 years from now, how would that person feel about it? Would they look at it as, oh, well, unless I told them what it was, would they look at it as if it was, wow, he just gave me a safe full of metal, right? I'm sure, this old geezer thinks it has a bunch of value in it, but it's just a safe of metal. Well, would they have that same mindset if I handed them a safe full of shiny, low premium coins or high premium coins or art pieces? Would they have that same mindset? So, although that is the wrong answer to this all, that's why we added some of the low premiums in there. Is that right or wrong? I don't know, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix up our, bars, our generic bars and rounds with low premium and some high premium coins and just a few art pieces and poured bars so that it has more, let's say, curb appeal, I guess, at the end of the day. Whether that's going to add value or not, debatable. But that's what we're going to do. Once again, I think I paid 90 cents over spot for all the bars. I paid, I think, 4 over spot for the Grizzly, 3 over spot for the Cougar, and 3 over spot for the Maple Leaf. Pretty simple. All of it came out to a little shy of $200. But that's it. That's where I started. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to lend your opinions, lend your advice. I'm open. And that's that. I hope to hear from you all. Goodbye.